One of the problems that we have in certain cases, and one of the fears that people have, is that if they were injured in a car accident, but they had a pre-existing condition, pre-existing back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, and they were further injured as part of the accident to that same area, that they won't be fairly compensated or compensated at all for that injury. So we're going to talk about why that's wrong in today's video. A pre-existing condition is an injury that existed before the date of the accident. Like I said, very common for somebody to have pre-existing back pain or a shoulder surgery that's made worse because of the car accident. There's something in the law called the eggshell plaintiff. What that means is just that the insurance company and the person who caused the accident, they have to accept the plaintiff as they come to them. So, for example, if somebody had a prior knee surgery and as part of the accident, their body, their knees were shoved up into the dashboard and created additional injuries or made the existing injuries worse, the defendant, the person who caused the accident, they don't get to say, oh, well, you know, you don't deserve to be compensated at all because that was existing. What matters in the case really is proving the condition of whatever the injured body part was before the accident and after the accident. So usually when somebody has neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, leg pain, a lot of times there is existing imaging that was done. So whether it's x-rays or MRIs, and so they show the condition of the person's body before the accident. And then especially in cases where there are pre-existing injuries, we like to have additional imaging done so that we can show post-accident what the condition of the body is. And it just makes our job easier as attorneys to prove your case, and also is simply more convincing to be able to basically show, okay, here are the images of the existing condition before the accident, and then after the accident, these are the images, so that the adjuster and the insurance company and their client can review that information and see, oh, okay, there's clearly a difference, and it may be a different injury, it may have worsened the existing condition, but our job as your attorneys is to gather that information and try and be able to show the difference between that injury that was pre-existing and the new condition of that injury site. Insurance companies, obviously, they want to do the opposite. They want to say, hey, you had that pre-existing injury, and because of that pre-existing injury, we're not going to pay you for it. It happens in almost every case where there's a pre-existing injury that the insurance company tries to make something out of that pre-existing injury. And because we see it all the time, we're really good at gathering information that will allow us to overcome, you know, that difficulty, that problem of a pre-existing injury. Although it's not ideal to have pre-existing injuries, it does complicate the case a bit more. Because of our experience over the years, we have really a plan in place to overcome those objections and to really make the most out of the facts that we have, your injuries, both pre-existing and post-accident, and really be able to show the insurance company why they should compensate you fairly for your injuries that were made worse or that are slightly different than the pre-existing injury. Once again, if you're injured in an accident and it's not your fault, we would love to help you.